Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the recent lunar node changes that has just happened. The north node has gone into Aries and the south node has gone into Libra. And this happened on July 18th of this year, and it will stay in these signs until January 11th of 2025. So this is a pretty big transit, a very long one, and this will affect everyone. The lunar nodes are basically the direction that we are heading in as a collective, and the south node is about what we're moving away from. So we're moving towards the energies and traits of Aries and letting go and releasing the shadow aspects of Libra. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the themes, the shadow aspects, and then I've pulled a few cards to also help guide us through this transit. So, right off the bat, Aries, embrace the inner warrior. I actually waited a little bit of time to do this video because I wanted to feel the energies of this transit before I did the video. And honestly, some days it just feels like I wake up and I put on my spear, my shield, and my armor, because there's already been a lot of conflicts that I've had to deal with, a lot of things that required like some strength and you could even say being courageous. So I think that's going to be one of the themes, is embracing your inner warrior. There might be so many conflicts going on that you need to be channel that inner warrior energy, to fight for what's right, fight for what you want in your life. And this also can mean that you could start your day with prayer by putting on your spiritual armor, by asking, let's say, Archangel Michael for protection during this time. Because Aries is the goddess of war, and that will be something that will be a theme of this transit for sure. There will be a lot of other good aspects to it, but that will be definitely one of them. Conflicts with others, and we can see this on a large scale and a small scale too. So start your day, put on your armor, your spiritual armor, and go into the day and fight for what you truly want. Aries is very much about the self, and could even be called selfish at times. But this is also what this means for this transit, is that you should choose yourself. And Libra is actually a lot about being codependent, being kind of complacent, letting others, doing things in groups, doing things with other people. But I think this is going to be a time where we should choose ourselves, because maybe in the past we didn't choose ourselves and we were complacent with where we are, or who we are with and stuff like that. We could have overlooked a lot of things and just gone with the flow, but I think this energy is asking us to choose ourselves and choose what we truly want. What is it that you truly desire? And go for that. And you might even have to fight for that in this time. It's going to challenge us to break away from codependent relationships, things that you were just kind of just allowing in your life that maybe you didn't really want. This energy is going to change that, or going to almost kind of force us to change that kind of stuff, because that's what we need to learn during this transit: how to choose ourselves, how to choose what we really want, but not doing it in a reckless or angry or bad way. There's a way to choose yourself. There's a positive way to do that. So that's going to be one of the themes for sure. And it could be you could be going on lots of adventures. You could be going just into the unknown, and that's, I think, what we're all going into right now, just the unknown of what's to come in the next couple of years. It's almost impossible to predict what's going to happen even tomorrow. So I think that's going to be one of the big themes for this time too. Just kind of being brave, being courageous, embracing your inner warrior, and just being able to deal with whatever comes our way. And that might be fun. That might be really fun, what comes our way into the unknown. But it's going to require us to be brave and courageous. And those are two really good aspects of Aries. So I've been, it's funny. I usually don't like fighting or MMA or any kind of martial arts, but every time it comes on my feed now, I strangely watch it, and it's just really been in the past couple of weeks. I never really watched fighting, boxing, or anything, but now when I see it, I kind of just wait and want to see what happens. It's very strange. So this energy could also help. I want to make you like learn a martial art. Maybe a good time to learn a martial art, or combat sports, or like training with weapons even. Obviously in a safe way. As a disclaimer, don't be reckless with that stuff. But that's an aspect of the life we live in. You can't deny that, especially right now. So if that's something you've always been interested in doing, maybe this is a good time to learn something like that, a martial art, or to learn how to use a weapon, or anything like that. You could also just be going to the gym more, want to gain your strength, your fitness levels. I think this would be a good time to use that Aries energy to enhance your fitness life and just become more physical, learn more physical skills in that way. So it's also a good time to start your own business, or change jobs into something that's more fulfilling for you. Maybe you've been in a job where you've just kind of been like, oh, well, I'll just stay here even though maybe I'm not happy, and I'll just no, this energy is going to make us want to choose ourselves and choose something that we actually want. And if that means your own business, I think this would be a good time to do that. Aries is a trailblazer, pioneer, cardinal sign. So if that's something that resonates with you, I think this would be a good time to do that. Also, just changing jobs, just choosing yourself and what you actually want, So that's something to keep in mind. Aries energy, the god of war. So you could see a lot of people being more hostile around you. You could also have more conflicts around you in your relationships, or just in general on the macro scale. Just general population could be more hostile. So something to keep in mind. Not everything deserves to be engaged with. Not every conflict is worth fighting. So choose your battles wisely. You don't want to spend all your energy fighting every single battle, and then, some battles are not even worth fighting, so know when to avoid it, and choose your battles wisely. And if you can deal with people peacefully and diplomatically, and that's kind of like a Libra trait, I think that would be something to also keep in mind, like if you see a conflict and, you want to rage and you want to fight them, but you can maybe deal with it in a diplomatic or peaceful way. I think that would be also something good about this transit to do. So using the positive aspects of Libra to also help with conflict. So Aries is the first sign, so I think we're going to be seeing a lot of new beginnings, a lot of new starts, maybe a lot of new technology. There's going to be a lot like pioneering that's going to be going on. A lot of new beginnings on many levels, many scales. So that could be something to also think about. And also to be just unapologetically yourself. Just be authentic, be who you are, and don't hide it. Be confident in what you are and what you really are and who you really are. I think that's the energy that's the Aries energy that's going to be demanding that of us. And that may lead to your own business, changing jobs, just changing relationships. Like, it's just being authentic, being what you really say and you are inside of you. So, and I think this would be a good time to connect with the element of fire. Maybe have some more candles around, just gaze into the candles, have a fireplace, but also connect with the element of fire, meaning like there's an aspect of it that there's a destructive aspect to fire, so maybe there's things in your life that need to be released or destroyed or just let go of, but there's also like the aspect of the illumination and like shining a light on what you want, and like bringing to light your inner desires, your inner things you've always wanted inside of you. So by letting go of all those things, you'll have room to go for what you really want in your life, for who you truly are. So I think that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, some of the shadow aspects of this transit, I think, is going to be releasing codependency, releasing people pleasing, being a doormat for others, complacency, overlooking toxic behavior, avoiding necessary conflict, and looking at people, places, or things with rose-colored glasses. I think those are some of the shadow aspects of Libra. So we're going to be moving away from all that stuff, and we're going to be going into all the things I just discussed before. So yeah, like I said, choose your battles wisely. Also, don't burn yourself out. Aries has a lot of energy, and just make sure you're channeling that into the right things. You're using the energy appropriately. Yeah, and you know, as much as a pioneering sign Aries is, it's also good to ask for help when you actually need it. Sometimes Aries actually don't ask for help, even though they might need it. So that's something to keep in mind when maybe you are building your own business or even changing jobs or something like that. Maybe you do need help from others after you take that first initiative. You know, so yeah, and it could also be like avoid beating around the bush or lying. Those are some things maybe Libra have a tendency to do, and Aries being direct, confrontational. Sometimes direct communication is needed, and sometimes conflicts are necessary. And by saying what you really mean and being authentic, you can move past a lot of things in your life and save a lot of people's time and your own time by speaking your truth, being authentic, and just releasing the things that no longer resonate for you. So yeah, South Node Libra. So Libra is about the laws. I think this would be a good time to stay away from trouble with the law, and maybe legal matters might arise in this time too. So yeah, I'd say try staying like you know, be a trailblazer, be a pioneer, but don't break the law. You know, I think that's just advice in general. But anyway, so those are some of the things that this is going to be a long transit, so I wanted to cover quite a few things. I did pull a few cards as well to help us gain some insight in this transit, so I'm going to be talking about that right now. So one of the first cards I got was the Nine of Cups. So a Nine of Cups is basically the card of wish fulfillment. So you can use this energy to choose yourself, to choose what you really want. What do you really want? What are your heart's truest desires? Be real with yourself. What do you really want? You know, go for it this time too. You know, this is a time to go for that kind of stuff. And sometimes when you choose yourself, you get what you actually want. I think a lot of people go through life just being complacent with what they have because they don't want to go through all the messy energies of going for what they really want. Include sometimes, you know, quitting your job, starting a business is not really a fun experience most of the time. It's actually very challenging, but that's what you really want, you know. At the end of your life, you're going to look back and you say, did I really do what I wanted to do? Am I satisfied? Am I with what my choices, with what I came here to do? You know, am I satisfied with my life? You know, sometimes you have to look at that perspective and say, if I'm much older and I look back, am I going to regret this decision? Am I going to regret not going after what I truly want? You know. So I also think this card, like there's a lot of, it looks like there's almost like trophies in behind this person, and this person is looking like very accomplished actually, and he's wearing a red hat, which symbolizes, I think, power. You know, so I think this is a time where you can individually just go for all your desires and just accomplish a lot of things during this time, accomplish a lot of great things. So this is just like you can accomplish many of your desires if you'd like, if you use this energy appropriately, you know. So yeah, go for your dreams. You know, I think that's what this card is asking us to do. Create your dream life, you know. But another thing, these cups, you don't really know if there's any water in them. So make sure you're going after things that are actually fulfilling. You can accomplish a lot in your life, and it may seem like very great to other people, but if they're actually empty and you feel empty or hollow by the things that you've accomplished, there's really no point of doing that, is there? So make sure you're going after things that fulfill your soul, fulfill you emotionally. And I think that at that point you can really sit back and kind of look like this guy and be like, you know, I went for what I truly wanted, and I have them now. And only you can do that. Only we can do that as individuals. No one is going to do that for us, you know. So fight for your dreams and go after them. I think that's what this card is trying to tell us. So the next card we have here is Temperance. So I think this is kind of like the Libra energy influence here. So Temperance is all about like balance, stability, relationships, harmony, stuff like that, you know, and that's a lot of the qualities about Libra. So I think as much as you want to be the inner warrior, trailblazer, individual, I think, and like also, you know, there's going to be conflicts too. So I think while you have the energy of the inner warrior or the warrior, you know, it's also good to be the fair warrior, you know. Make sure you're not reckless. Make sure if there is a conflict that you do it in a way that like kind of serves you, yes, but also just do it in a diplomatic way, I guess, you know. Yeah, so yeah, and the best fighter is a calm fighter, you know. Usually when you see a fighter who's angry and all full of emotion, they're probably not going to win the fight. It's the one who can think clearly, calm, cool, and collected, who are the best fighters, I think, in general. So that's something to keep in mind while there is going to be conflict and stuff like that during this time, just to make sure that, you know, you fight for what you want, but also be calm, cool, and collected, and remember that we live in a world that there are laws, you know, so be careful of what you choose to do, how you go about fighting for what you want, you know. There's a way to do that, you know, is still in a balanced way, you know. So go after what you want, go after your dreams, but don't break the law. Remember that, you know. So yeah, and I think Aries also kind of has a tendency to like there's like, you know, there could be like the energy of having vices too during this time, you know. So make sure you keep those in moderation. I think that's what another thing is trying to tell us. So, yo, be the inner warrior, be the calm warrior, and during this whole transit, if you're able to do that, go for your dreams and just, you know, master your emotions, I think you'll be greatly rewarded at the end. And the last card, not surprisingly, is the Five of Wands. So right off the bat, you can see there's a lot of conflict in this energy, in this card. You know, it's funny, like they all have spears, but I talked about having a spear, waking up with your spear, your shield, and your armor in the morning. So just be prepared for anything. Be courageous, be brave when you need to be. I think you should avoid conflict when you can, but when conflict is necessary, absolutely fight for what you want, you know. So yeah, and like I've just been saying, you can see this on the macro scale and the micro scale. The world leaders wanting to fight, people on the street wanting to fight, maybe there's going to be that energy. Hopefully there isn't. Hopefully we can channel the energy of peace, diplomacy, and avoid the conflicts when we need to, and just maybe discuss things instead of fighting barbarically. You know, maybe a lot can be avoided by doing it that way. So yeah, I mean, as much as there can be accomplished during this transit, there could be a lot of chaos too. I'm not going to lie to you. So just try to be calm and cool and collected as you can. Be the warrior that you need to be. You know, be brave, be courageous, fight for what you want, fight for your desires, your soul desires. Do it just do it in the best way you possibly can. Most harmonious way, I guess. Of course, it's not always going to be like that, but I guess you can try to do like that as much as you can. So choose your battles wisely, basically. I think that's what the energy of this card is telling you. You know, don't waste your energy fighting every single battle. It's not going to be worth it. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gave some guidance and clarity, and we'll see where this transit takes us. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.